looks like Marvel have dropped their official trailer #1 for the new Eternals movie. Now, I must admit, I mean, as a kid in the 70s, I remember seeing the occasional Eternals comic, and it just didn't appeal to me in the 70s. I mean, I've not read them since I've grown up, but in the 70s, I remember reading them. They were right slog. They just felt like a really long read that were not really interesting. That's all I seem to recall about them. And I know I didn't keep any Eternal books that I managed to pick up here and there. So when I found out there was actually going to do an Eternals movie, I was like, what? An Eternals movie? What the heck do I want to do that for? But it's been held up a lot, I suppose, because of the coronavirus as well. So I think I'm not sure if it's been finished for a while and they was holding on to it till the cinemas opened again or what. I'm not actually sure when it's coming out. But yeah, I think when you think about it, the Guardians of the Galaxy, they weren't like a really big super team, but they did really well in the box office. So as long as they play it right, you know, they've got like a crowd of slavering Marvelites who will go to any Marvel movie and give it some love. So I mean, I'm going to go and watch it anyway. It's not. I don't mean there's no reason just because the comics were a bit boring for me back in the day. There's no reason that the film shouldn't be interesting. I know it's all kind of like slightly renamed mythical characters, isn't it? Like Ikari is Icarus. I think it's Icarus or something, but it's like basically Fina, I think, rather than Athena. But it's all like basically renamed Greek mythology people, from what I recall. Makari is Mercury. Let me find the video anyway. Let's give you a reaction, see what I think. I'm not even sure who's in it, but I think I saw that Angelina Jolie, I think she might be playing Fina. I'm not sure, but let's have a quick look at the trailer and see what I can work out. About 2.5 minutes, this one. Why shiny? Is this a Fallout 4 movie? That'd be cool. Why do they have the storm? May know it's the end of the world. You don't love me anymore.
It's beautiful.
I'm really going to get a copyright strike just for the just for the music at the beginning. It's hard to see in the small screen. I can't really make out all the actors. Well, I'm not really good at actors anyway. I'm pretty sure that was Angelina Jolie.
We have watched.
I feel like I've seen that lady in a few things.
We have helped them progress.
Okay.
And seen them accomplish wonders.
So they're kind of like gods, but not actually gods.
Throughout the years,
like an advanced race of
interfered.
Isn't Cersei a member of them as well? Got some interesting powers going on. Goodbye. I'm gonna get a copyright strike for that song. That's where I am. So I'm sticking over it. Maybe I'll get credited as a duet.
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
Who was that voice? I recognise that voice.
I could lead them.
The Avengers, did he say? There's certainly a voice there that I recognise, but I couldn't. It's too small. I'm looking at the screen too small. I should probably look at it in another screen or something. And let's finish that. It's just some bloody trailer or something. Probably gonna get copyright strike for that little ending bit as well. I just got it off some YouTube channel. So yeah, that was interesting. Didn't show an awful lot. Didn't tell you an awful lot, to be honest. It was like yeah, okay. It's just like I'm assuming just like a basic introduction to the characters. There's some star beings who've watched over us for ages and finally have come to Earth. So you've got that little bit of like, oh, what's going on there then? But there didn't seem to be any sort of sign of like an antagonist or any kind of clue as to what the story was going to be about. It seemed very, very low on clues, that one, to be honest. Very low on like action. There's a little bit of like magic kind of going on where they were like making their little magic circle kind of thing with all the like beings linking up their hands together. I think it looked like it was a training montage at one point, but it's like these trailers, they go past quite quickly. I didn't really get a grip or a grasp which is known as a grisp in the trade. In case you didn't know, a grip and a grasp combined is a grisp. It's not a real word. I mean, it is a real word. I didn't just make it up, is what I meant to say. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really get a good, proper grasp on what was going on. There are quite a lot of characters in the Eternals as well. I wonder if that's going to be a detriment to people trying to get their head around it. You know, you got all these different names to learn, all these different characters to work out. I'm pretty sure, for what I can recall of the comics, which is barely nothing, it's probably 40 years since I've read one, but it was when it was the enemy, not one of their own number. Was it not kind of like the Inhumans, where like their enemies were from within, kind of thing? Is there not like a god who's a naughty god, a bad god, a trickster god, like a Loki, or like who was it, Maximus from the Inhumans, something like that? Yeah, I get a feeling the Eternals enemies from within. But I remember in the comic books they've got like another race which is like them, but they split. They kind of split into evolutionary paths. One of them went into space. I think one of them went up to the top of a volcano or a mountain or something. And what were they called? They were like the ugly brothers and sisters of the Eternals. The Eternals of the beautiful gods, you know, the aesthetically pleasing on the eye gods, and the other ones were called like some were not misfit, but like some word meaning not outcast, but like defected, or like they were kind of like rejects and like deviants. I think they were called the deviants, something like that. Something like that, yeah. I think they're called the Deviants, and they were kind of like the monstrous-looking kind of people, like had sort of quite a lot of sort of superpowers, well above human beings. But they were kind of like, they were deviants. They deviated, like somehow their DNA deviated from the beautiful, happy, eternal people. Well, it's kind of like, there's a little bit of I don't want to go there. There's a little bit of elitism with the Eternals, and what I remember, and the Deviants are like the poor slobs who got left behind, or something like that. But they're like the opposites, the juxtaposition to the Eternals. So I wonder if they're going to face off against the Deviants, in which case there'll be even more characters to try and remember. I don't know if the Eternals have even had a comic book for ages. I mean, I know they had the 70s comic book, Jack Kirby doing the art, I believe. But that was so dense. I remember being so dense, such a hard read. I mean, I was only 7 at the time, probably, when I was trying to read it. And it was just like, where's the fights? Where's the witty banter? You know, why isn't Spider-Man flipping a web and making a quip? You know what I mean? But but I'm not gonna put it down for memories of 40 years ago from a comic book. I mean, this is going to be a movie. It's going to be completely different. They're going to make sure that it's not too dense. They're going to make it so it's got action. They're going to make it so it's got all the hooks, all the regular Marvel kind of formula to draw in the viewers, to get you in the cinema, get bums on seats in that cinema kind of thing. And it looks like it's going to be the good sci-fi spectacle, the big superhero battles and so forth. But I'm just not sure who's going to. I think Icarus was the main guy, and I think Phenom was the main woman from the team. But there was all these other guys as well. Makari, I remember, was super fast. But basically, everyone was like based on an old Greek myth or Greek god. And Anyway, so I'm not sure how the story is going to be, but I think it could suffer from not being a very well-known Marvel franchise or Marvel comic book, possibly from having too many characters. As long as they tell the story right, as long as they get people engaged, there's no reason it shouldn't do well for them. But I kind of got the feeling that the Eternals only ever got a movie, and the Inhumans only ever got a TV show because Marvel didn't have the property rights to their own X-Men. Like, because they went through a time, didn't they, where it was like, let's not make any more X-Men characters. I think they even got rid of mutants at one point, and that's when they tried to raise the profile of the Inhumans and raise the profile of the Eternals. It's like the Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., rather than having any kind of mutant characters, it was all the Inhumans, wasn't it? The Terrigen Mists and all that kind of thing. So I've got to think maybe one day when they get the X-Men back, if they ever get the X-Men back, all these Eternals and Guardians of the Galaxy and Inhumans will be forgotten about. I feel sorry for the Inhumans TV show. I thought it was pretty decent. I didn't mind that at all. It had some pretty good actors in it, some pretty good action, some pretty good scenarios and stuff. But just people seem to determined not to like it, but I thought it was pretty decent. Hopefully this will be pretty decent as well. I will possibly get around to seeing it at the cinema. We shall see. The person I used to always take my aunt to the cinema, and sadly she died last year. So it's kind of like I haven't been to the cinema since with the COVID and all that. But like, I kind of feel that I should go in her memory, like, and I'll eat some popcorn on her behalf, kind of thing. Go to the pub afterwards for beer and meal like we always used to do. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's cool. That's this trailer one, so I'm guessing there's gonna be some more trailers because that wasn't enough, I don't think, to get people really psyched. I have to watch it again because I don't remember seeing an antagonist, a villain. Also, you didn't really get. I don't remember them mentioning each other's names. Even did they even say their names to to sort of give you an idea of all the characters were. Also, I want to work out what that voice was. I definitely recognise the voice, the deep voice of one of the characters. I thought I know that voice from somewhere, but I was thinking Idris Elba, but I don't think it was. But yeah, but anyway, we shall see. We'll get to watch it, and that's my thoughts on it anyway. So looks promising. Nothing really grabbed me, but I'm sure it looks like it's going to be a good big budget blockbuster with good special effects, hopefully a good story, hopefully characters that will engage you and get you interested. But possibly, as I say, I've already mentioned the things that might be to its detriment, like too many characters perhaps. But anyway, we shall see. And there might be another trailer sometime soon. I'm sure there'll be another trailer or two before it comes out. I'm not even sure when it comes out. It didn't even have that, did it? It didn't even have that come up at the end. So it must mean it's like a real first reaction kind of thing. They haven't even got a date yet, maybe, when it's going to be out. I'm not too sure. But anyway, that's it. That's my reaction to that trailer. And hopefully it gives you some idea what to look out for, Right, cheers for watching.